I saw you're sitting at
why?
Hardee's? Hardee's.
Yes.
Because
You know
you're
why?
lazy and you don't want to pull over somebody with actually where you have to do paperwork.
Who has a suspended driver's license?
Oh!
Can I have your ID?
No. I don't have it with me. My name is Nicole Glumsky. You know who the I am.
Okay.
Because you just said I have a suspended license. Do what you got to do with your
I have to verify
dog.
this.
All right, so we've got a girl who gets pulled over in Wisconsin for driving on a suspended license, and she breaks the cardinal rule. The cardinal rule being, don't talk to the police. My understanding is that she not only talks to the police, but she goes way overboard. Let's watch.
On January 1st, 2023, a Portage County Sheriff's deputy was on patrol when he ran the plates of a vehicle in Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Good old Wisconsin.
It came back showing the registered owner had a suspended license, so the deputy decided to conduct a traffic stop.
People are shocked to know that an officer can just randomly run people's license plates. That is totally legal for an officer to do. In fact, some departments have automated license plate readers that boom, 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 boom. It automatically scans every license plate as, a car drives by. And boom, the computer pings everyone. It searches the database, and if it comes back as a suspended plate or the registered owner has a suspended license, that's absolutely a reason, a legitimate reason for the officer to investigate.
Upon approach, the female driver, 33-year-old Nicole Golomsky, immediately began yelling and cursing.
That's a bad idea.
You guys, next trip following and waiting for me to leave my gas pump. Look around, douche.
Well, the reason
You really
why
don't
I'm
have
pulling
anything
you
better
over-
to do on New Year's Eve, New Year's night, New Year's Day, when there's all these motherfuckers. Get that out my eyes.
It's not in your
I
eyes.
didn't do
If
anything
you know where
illegal.
I'm pointing
I
right
do
here.
know I know your is gonna pull me over. I
Okay.
saw you're sitting at
You know why?
Hardee's? Hardee's.
Yes.
Because
You know
you're
why?
lazy and you don't want to pull over somebody with actually where you have to do paperwork.
Who has a suspended driver's license?
Oh, I got a suspended driver's license, but you can pull somebody over drinking and driving, right?
Okay, can I have your ID?
No. I don't have it with me. My name is Nicole Glumsky. You know who the I am.
Okay.
Because you just said I have a suspended license. Do what you got to do with your
I have to verify
dog.
that's who you are. I'm
Don't
not dogging
find anything. I don't give a f***. And your buddy back there can bring his dog. You guys do this to me anytime.
I've never met you before, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Why did you creep at Quick Trip until I left? Answer that.
Because I saw you had a suspended driver's license.
How did you see that if you're on the other side of the parking lot and then drove around my vehicle, then drove around again?
Okay, you know what? I don't
Goes
need
to
to answer
Hardee's.
you.
You don't have to answer. I don't have to answer.
What's your name, sir?
He doesn't have to answer you, does he?
Why?
Get it out of his eyes.
You're not wearing a seatbelt.
And neither the f am I. Neither am I.
I don't know that.
I don't even know where to begin with all this, right? I mean, she's aggressive. I mean, here, the officer doesn't have to explain any of that. So how it works, just from an officer's perspective, right, is it says, I think your name was Nicole. Nicole, whatever, is the owner of this vehicle. Her license is suspended. That's the information he has. But he can also pull up the driver's license, the actual photo of her on her driver's license. So he sees it's a white female, right, around whatever age. He's allowed to see if that's the person driving the vehicle. And if so, he can make the traffic stop without any actual traffic violations being committed, right? Other than this person is suspected to be the driver who's driving on a suspended license. However, if it's clearly not that person driving, right? Say it's, a African-American male, right? And the vehicle's registered to, a white woman. Well, then you can't pull that vehicle over for absent of a traffic violation, right? Like that's clearly not a positive identification of a driver with a likely suspended driver's license. So in this case, he's clearly got every right to pull her over. She admits that it is her, and she admits that she has a suspended driver's license. She's obviously, super aggressive. I would not be surprised to see this turn into a DUI investigation.
Get it out of his eyes.
You're not wearing a seatbelt.
And neither the f am I. Neither am I.
What's your name?
Off. He does not need to tell you his name legally. You're not going to
Yes,
try
he
to make
does.
somebody. He's a passenger.
Did I do anything
You are
wrong?
this is entrapment. Do you know that? You're going to get in
not
trouble.
entrapment.
Yes, it is.
If you think I'm gonna get in trouble,
It's
my sergeant's
trespass.
right here.
What is that called? Harassment.
Have you been drinking tonight?
No,
Entrapment,
breathalyze it.
harassment.
Breathalyzer.
Get it. Get it.
There we
How
go.
do I
I'm
know
not
your
on
drinking
eyes
tonight.
are
See?
glossy?
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed.
You been smoking tonight?
That's
Nope.
an admission.
When's the last time you smoked?
None of your business.
Weed's
You smell
not legal
weed?
in
Nope.
Wisconsin.
Are you gonna find weed? Nope. Sorry, you wasted your time.
I don't actually. I think I do smell weed.
You do?
Come
Search
on,
it. I told
officer.
you. F***er. Get your dog.
I don't need a dog.
Do you got weed on you
That's
that you would put
consent.
in my car?
She gave consent
Why
to
would I
search
have
the
weed on me?
You
vehicle.
seem like a dirty, lazy cop.
Oh, that's
So when you
unfortunate
dig
that
through my
think
car and you're that
It's all
don't find
pretty
nothing,
sarcastic.
don't be upset and then have to give me a ticket for suspended license and drive away like a piece of cop. Why don't you
He wasn't wearing a seatbelt and didn't want to ID him. How much have you had to drink already?
not breathalyze me? I'm not talking to you no more.
All right, I'll be right back.
He's refusing to identify himself.
I walked up. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He's claiming he took it off.
See, so
but
they
I
got
don't
a
believe him.
traffic violation.
Neither one of them had him
on
on.
them.
She's telling me she's the RO. She gave me her name, but she doesn't have a driver's license on her,
Okay.
so I can write her for that.
Yeah,
Check.
that's a
See if you can find the driver's
traffic
license
offense.
picture.
Let me ask you something, sir. Do you have a valid driver's license?
No,
No. So neither of you are leaving here then until
I
you have
don't.
a valid driver.
You know
also.
what? I can walk away. Can I?
You can't leave right now.
right? So there you go, right? She's under investigation, right? There's a couple traffic violations and probably, I don't know about Wisconsin, right? But here in Illinois, driving on a suspended license is a criminal offense always. And so that, you know, that can prolong this, right? That can allow the officers to put you in handcuffs, arrest you, search the vehicle. It's called a search incident to arrest, right? After you've been arrested, they have to then do something with that vehicle. They're allowed to search it. So, you know, things are escalating quickly here, at least if there is a criminal offense as opposed to a traffic offense here.
If I'm not being detained, yes, I can.
No, you are detained.
How?
You're getting a citation.
That's
You're
not
not
being
going
detained.
anywhere.
That's not being detained.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
you're not leaving.
Okay, well, when your is done giving me a ticket tag, I'm
He's not driving out of here without a license, so
He says he don't have one either, but he won't identify himself.
that's perfect. They can sit here until they get someone out here.
Operator
Permit.
failed to have passenger
Yep,
seatbelted.
yep, that's a citation.
She's getting a seatbelt and a
Yep.
suspension.
Okay.
How far do you want to push his identification?
It's up to you too if for failure to carry her driver's license on her person.
I
It's up
kind
to
of
you.
feel like that's a double-edged sword because
Okay.
of this already being suspended. She doesn't really have a driver's license. Otherwise, I was going to write it.
I was gonna say with him is
I appreciate that, officer.
mean,
It technically
says
is a
he had it
violation
on,
you could
he
write her for.
took it unless you saw that he didn't
Well, I
have
pulled
it
up behind
on.
them. They never took them off. They were, in my books, they were never wearing them. There's video from my squad. You never see them remove seatbelts or anything like that. They were, in my book, they were not wearing them.
Okay, it's up to you. It's your stop. So if you feel that he truly wasn't wearing his seatbelt and you have a violation, then he's required to identify himself for his citation. If he refuses to identify himself,
Well, I didn't write him a
he's-
citation. I was going to write it to her.
But
Instead of,
what I'm saying is he's obstructing an investigation. If he has got a citable offense that you intend on citing him for, but it's up to you if you want to push it that far.
I don't know the law in Wisconsin, but yeah, it makes total sense. You know what? You understand the difference there, right? Is that if he's just a random person who hasn't committed any traffic violation, not suspected of anything, well then he doesn't have to turn over his license, right? He's not the driver. Driver always has to. But that's what they're determining, right? If they want to write this guy a ticket, which would be for a seatbelt, well then now, and he still refuses to identify himself, well now he's obstructing an investigation because he's under investigation, as opposed to just being a random sort of passenger.
okay, so are you willing to tell me who you are, what your name is, sir?
No, he doesn't have to. I'm telling him not to talk to you. Do not.
I'm not talking to you
Okay,
right
well,
now.
I don't want him
Stop
talking to
talking.
you. No.
You
You're
need to stop talking.
disrespecting me
Step out of the
for
vehicle.
no reason.
Step out. Come here. I'm going to talk to you back
You can
here.
order her out of the vehicle.
I just want to know, dude, speaking person to person, like why
Yeah, I would
why
love
are
to
you
speak.
guys not? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cops here.
Look at how
Why
you're
is-
reacting.
Because
I'm not
I'm
trying to
upset. This
mistreat
happens to me
you.
all
I'm
the
not
time.
like trying to make you feel
no,
bad.
listen to me, please let me finish.
Sure.
There's so many drunk crackheads, meth heads, alcoholics, people with so much stuff that if you pulled them over, you would actually, I don't know, it would feel like you were doing good because they were drinking and driving, or they had drugs, or they were doing something bad.
I hear this argument all the time. Probably in half of all tickets and DUI arrests do I hear somebody say, you know, well, you should be getting somebody else. You should be getting the real criminals, not me. And, you know, I understand why people say that. But it's not a legal argument. Let's be clear on that, right? Like, it's not a legal defense. You're really just kind of throwing shit against the wall and hoping that it sticks, or hoping you can pull on the officer's heartstrings. I have yet to see that work.
Saying my eyes are glassy, you smell weed. Actually, I do smell weed now. You know you don't.
Is this where they turn it into a DUI investigation? Because I'm very surprised it's not.
It would be lying if I was lying. I'm not lying to you.
Don't raise your voice at me, dude. I have daddy issues, and I don't like men. I don't trust them.
Listen.
I have PTSD. Do not talk to me like that. Like this happened on the news. Where
None of this would even have gone this far or be to where it is right now.
Get held down by you guys and get choked out.
If you could at least have the slightest bit of respect.
I am a Brad. I want to walk away from you because I don't owe you shit.
Listen,
but you know what you would do?
Walk to the front of my car.
You know what you would do?
Just walk to the front of that car.
You would physically hurt me. You would hold me
I'm not
down.
going to.
But if I tried
I'm not even going to touch you.
You would. You'd shoot my.
Just have a seat right there. Relax.
Tell me what to do.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're not identifying yourself. I pulled up behind you. I have a camera that's also in my car that I've never observed either one of you removing a seatbelt. Therefore, you weren't wearing one. It's a violation. If you're not going to tell me who you are or give me your identification, that's obstructing. And then we're going to handle it differently.
What are you trying to do?
Just tell me who you are.
What have I done wrong?
So why does the officer want to know who this person is so bad? Well, you can imagine. It doesn't take much to realize that, people have warrants. People are wanted for things, for other investigations and whatnot. And so when an officer has the opportunity to identify someone, run someone through the system, and see if they've got warrants, they're going to, right? It would be really, really bad if this guy was an axe murderer and wanted in, 49 states, and the officer just never even identifies this guy and lets him go on his way. God forbid he goes, and commits another atrocity, right? I mean, so the officers, you got to think about, are trying to cover their own ass many times when they are interacting with the public.
Yeah, I saw you at Quick Trip. I ran her plate. I saw that she was suspended as a registered owner of the vehicle. I can legally do that. I can sit at a gas pump and run every license plate around me. I can legally do that. Aaron Source.
Irving. I-R-V-I-N-G. Zaragoza. Call it in right now so I can tell you how it is.
6'2" comp. Could you look up a Irvin Zaragoza in-house?
Get that fat bonus.
If she wouldn't have started yelling at me and all this would have never gotten to this point.
It's just that we're all the time. This is happening. Like we're not doing anything wrong. Literally at the Quick Trip, standing there, and
So I drive around and that's my job, is to observe traffic, and I run license plates.
Did I put the wrong gas in the car?
No, I literally look for people with suspended driver's licenses. I look for people that
Appreciate the
are
honesty.
So now you're out in forest. Why?
This is my normal shift.
There's quite a few guys.
Right now, you got us a shift change, so there's a lot of us, because there's guys coming off and on. Half hour ago, there was 3 of us. That's it.
Trying to mess with us when you could be actually doing something good.
Okay. How much weed is in the car?
There's no weed here.
I can smell it.
Okay. If you can smell it, then you get your nose checked.
No. Irving, we're talking to him. We already got your name.
Just in the background, still yelling.
Jared, you want to walk up here?
You might as well just get it done and over with. You want to get in here and check it? Go ahead.
So I looked at past contacts too with the car, and it even says that there's been marijuana in this car. So you're gonna tell me that I don't smell it when it's been in here? I don't care to search the whole vehicle. Honestly, I don't want to look in the dang vehicle.
I don't care. What are you trying to get at?
I'm just being honest. I'm talking to you, man to man.
I've already told you. There's nothing here. What do you want?
Nothing. I don't want anything.
If you're trying to get in here, get in here.
Okay, can you step out?
Can you run it? Can you be quick?
Yeah, no, you're not going anywhere. You guys might as well start calling for a ride.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'm gonna have you step forward and hang out with that officer.
So one question might be, can they search the vehicle right now? So it seems like nobody is under arrest. And in fact, it even seems like nobody has committed any, or at least being charged with, or even really accused of any criminal violations. It seems like driving on a suspended license is a traffic ticket, and they were willing to give her that ticket and let her go. Clearly the seatbelt's also just traffic tickets. So the officers fished around a little bit about criminal offenses, DUI, right? Asked her about alcohol. How much have you smoked, right? Also a cannabis-based DUI or cannabis possession, which is not legal in Wisconsin. So they've poked around a little bit. But at this point, I would say that they can't just go and search the vehicle, right? There's nothing in plain view that they've seen. And nobody's under arrest for a misdemeanor or felony, a criminal offense. So what would give the officer permission to search the vehicle? Well, consent, right? Consent by the driver. And she did earlier say, well, Ryan, you want to get in the vehicle, go search the vehicle, right? I bet if this officer wanted to, he could go talk to her, probably strong arm her a bit, and she would consent to the search of the vehicle. That's, just my guess. Even the other guy, he can't give consent to search the vehicle. It doesn't appear to be his. He just seems to be a passenger. But even him, he's kind of like, whatever, you guys are going to do what you want to do anyways, which is not true. I mean, the officers do have to follow the law. And even if they don't follow the law here on the street, they're going to be required to, or at least you have a defense in court.
Oh, yes, go ahead. I have to give you permission, not him.
No, I don't need permission. Because the more I talk to him, have my head in the car, I can definitely smell marijuana.
There you go.
How do you know what marijuana smells like? Get that marijuana then.
So that is a basis
I've seen it on YouTube.
to search the vehicle. The law is changing a little bit, especially in states Colorado, California, Illinois, where marijuana is legalized. Recreational marijuana is legalized. But the law is still very much up in the air here in Illinois. Different circuits have ruled different ways about searching a vehicle based solely on the smell of marijuana.
My uncle lives 2 houses up. I'm pushing my car in his driveway.
I'm going to hand you your phone so you can work on a ride.
I don't need a ride. I'm going to push my car.
Okay, well, I'm going to go knock on that door. I'm going to verify that's your uncle, and he says it's okay. You can put your car there.
Right, go ahead. Why don't you check the address?
Why do you have a hatchet in your door?
So he is searching the
I
vehicle.
want in my door. I could have a gun in my door.
Okay, thanks. That's all I wanted to hear.
Probably
You can say, I hear all kinds of things. I just don't want to talk to you because I don't want you to keep yelling at me. I don't work for the city.
Nicole was released and cited for failure to wear a seatbelt, operating while suspended, and failure to have a passenger wear
They
a
didn't
seatbelt.
find any weed in the car, apparently.
That's what I'm doing at Quick Trip. But he said he saw that I have a suspended license when I don't have a front plate.
Keep it up. And I'm going to write you for obstructing for not
Please
giving me
do.
your ID.
Please do.
That would be a criminal
I don't need
offense.
to hear it. Not from you, and not from nobody.
Here's a citation for operating while suspended. There's a court date and time up here at the top. You do not have to appear. It would be a deposit of $200.50. Giving you a citation for not having your passenger failing to wear his seatbelt.
Down the ticky tack.
Babe, read them? Thank you. Have a nice night.
Yeah, you better figure out a way to get your car somewhere because you're not driving it.
You don't want to do your real job and go fight crime, right? You're a pig that don't know. No.
Still stand there constituted. What are you doing?
He wants to fight a girl.
Okay, so make sure she doesn't drive out
He wants
here.
to fight a girl.
She would totally drive out of there if she could. This worked out incredibly well for her. Like, very rarely does yelling at the officers and all the ridiculous things she did work out. But in this case, it seemed like the officer just gave up. He's like, whatever, man. I don't want to deal with this BS. And she got off relatively easy. I mean, she had a suspended license. She got a suspended license ticket. She apparently wasn't wearing a seatbelt. She got a seatbelt ticket, but they said it was a $10 ticket. They also gave her the ticket for her passenger not wearing his seatbelt. That's dumb, but whatever. In the big scheme of things, not bad. I mean, to walk away from this at all and not be in handcuffs is a pretty good deal for her, considering, some of the issues she had, some of the, things where she really ran up close to getting herself into some criminal trouble as opposed to traffic tickets, and just generally the way that she ran her mouth to the police. It's really not going to work out well for you most of the time. So good for her. It worked. But next time she probably won't be so lucky. So what can you take away from this? What is the moral of this story? It is not to do the things that she did. Instead, it is to remain quiet and not talk to the police and don't give them evidence that can and will be used against you in court.